Hello everyone, my name is Joshua and I'm going to be going over post requests. You can see that I already have a bunch of get requests here. I've done these in the previous videos. Feel free to check out my playlist on Postman, or I might include the links in the description. Let's begin anyways. So what about post requests? Why are they different than get requests? One important thing to know is that in get requests, usually the parameters are in the URL of the request itself, but in post requests, they have the information within the response body. This could be important, such as when you want to send requests without showing that sensitive information. I will show later that this could be important when you want to include your email and password, stuff that you definitely don't want to be recorded in your history of your browser. Let's go to the post. Let's just show an example of how post requests work. You still need to have the endpoint pointed correctly. I'll create a new request. Let's see, I'll call it create to match what that dashboard is saying. In this create request, I'm going to put the host name and the /API users as the endpoint to direct it to the correct endpoint. And one thing important to know, now that I'm not using a get request anymore, I'm going to use a post request. You see a bunch of API request types here below, but I just need post right here. And I'll just copy the response body, the request body. Now this is important because in certain APIs, there's some sort of information that you need to post to get a required response. If it's missing something, you might get a different status message other than 201. I'll explain what 201 later is, but let me continue on. For to use the body, because I like to preserve the JSON format, so it's easier to understand how this post request works. Just simply put in the response body right here with the key and values of as listed right here, and I click send, and I could see the response matching exactly, almost exactly what it shows on the website. Now you might be wondering, why is this 201 instead of 200? Each status message has a different meaning. 200 means request to a successful response that you received. 201 means that you created a resource. Oh wow, it has a definition here too. The request has been fulfilled, the result in a new resource being created. And it still has the same things like the time shown and the size. I think usually post requests are usually bigger than get requests. So this is how a post request works. You need a request body. Usually that information is sensitive, and you point it to the endpoint where you will send it to. Now, there might be, as I mentioned in the previous video, there might be some post requests that you have to expect that they'll be unsuccessful if it's missing some information. I'm going to go over that right now. So let's just do, actually I'm going to go over a few more examples of post requests, and then I'll go over some unsuccessful ones. So let's just say this API register endpoint. I'm going to go and I'm going to save this one and create a new request. It's going to be register successful. As I mentioned before, it's important to not only test whether it's working correctly with the correct parameters, you also want to check what happens when it's unsuccessful. Here I'm just doing more examples when it is successful. API/users. There we go. And now when I click send, I think I should get a good response, unless I typed it wrong. I didn't complete I didn't put the host name right here. Okay, now that should be better. There you go. Same thing. 201 created, and I should check if the response body matches what is shown in the dashboard. It's a 200 response. Here it's showing a different status message, but I think sometimes a post request could be used for authentication. So I think that's why it's showing a 200 request right here. I'm going to do another. Now this time it's going to be successful login. Take this one here. Create a request. Login successful. Now again, the same thing, post request. I'm going to copy the response body, make sure I memorize the endpoints that I have to append to the URL. Alright, here, let's just try it in the JSON format, and I'll click send. Alright, and now usually when you log in with the correct JSON body, you can get the correct token. You usually get a token that will be stored in your cache and can be used for authentication. When so you don't have to keep doing repeated logins, you could just log in back with the token. Well, it depends if that software is configured that way. That's usually how login works. Now, let's go take the cases when it's unsuccessful. Now you can see here, like for example, register successful, that you can see that it has an email and password to make it successful. But if the user misses like an aspect of it, like let's just say that he only inputs the email, you should receive a response that reflects why he got it wrong. That should usually how APIs be used. They should be kind of user friendly. I'm going to go ahead and create a request where it doesn't work. Register unsuccessful. And I want to go ahead and edit it. Just keep it as a post. Body is going to be a JSON, but this time the JSON is missing. Oh, not text. It has to be JSON. It's missing the password. So when I point to the URL, to the endpoint API/register, it should be a 400 error. You have 400 bad requests. And a 400 bad request means that it can't be fulfilled because you have missing or just bad syntax right there. That's one thing about Postman is that it makes it nice and easy to understand some of these status messages if you're not good at memorizing stuff. Okay, now let's do it with login. Same thing, it's missing the password. Let's try this one. Login unsuccessful. All right, the body, raw JSON. There we go. And now we'll copy the host name, API/login. There you go. Send it. Oh, what did I do wrong here? It should be post request. Get requests don't have a body. That's why it just returned all the users. Now here, yet the same thing. 400 bad request. And why? Because it's missing a password. I'm curious. I don't know if this API is configured that way, but let's just say I made this the password and I didn't include the email. I want to see if it will reflect it. Yep, there you go. Missing email or username. I'll just keep it this way, actually. This is a good example of what happens when you're missing the email or username of the response. So anyways, this is how post requests work. A quick summary is that when you do a post request, usually you have to put in something in the request body. So anyways, this is a quick summary of how to use post requests. Usually the information is stored within the request's body, whereas in get request is stored within just the URL. And one thing good about post requests is that it can hide sensitive information. Alright guys, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. I'll go ahead to the next video. Yeah, take care.